What was this? It was kind of a hostel that was like, it was like here. Do you mind if I clip this right here?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm just
Better if you do it.
magnet it, right? Perfect.
Sweet.
Cool. But yeah, I was, it was this, the taxi driver dropped us off.
Yeah.
Because we were saying, hey, can you take us to a cool spot? He said, well, we'll take you to a place that's pretty cheap. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And it's this place where you can pay per hour. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And we were in there. It was like there was
Guatemala.
no windows
Yeah.
or anything like that. And it was like, oh my goodness. Okay, I guess we're doing this now. I didn't realize that's what this was. This was the experience.
It's very Guatemalan. Well, it's very a lot of places of the world, but in Guatemala, it's.
Is that pretty common in Guatemala?
It's very common because most people live with their parents.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, if you want to connect and you have, like, you're all living and sleeping in the same room as your parents and all of your family, you go to a auto motel.
See, I thought it was prostitution. Is it or not really?
Not necessarily.
It's mostly a family living situation.
Yeah, it's like youth wanting, not even youth, anyone
privacy.
wanting to be intimate. Yeah.
Because everyone lives in such close quarters.
Yeah. Like you have no intimacy in most indigenous houses. So, you know. Yeah.
So is this how you grind up the cocoa bean? Is this how it's normally done? This is how you do it?
That's how I'm doing now. Now I'm like doing a mix of lots of things because I'm trying to figure out the best way. I don't have a grinder. You can have like a manual grinder. We do it with a local corn grinder. Like we process thousands of pounds every month. So you don't do that for thousands. But we do hand pill every seed. So thousands, like we maybe process 2,000 seeds. Now you've processed maybe 2 pounds. So we process 2,000. Like that's like what we have here is maybe 2 pounds. So 1,000 times more the work you did.
Yes.
Every month is hand peeled.
Wow. It all has to be hand peeled?
That's our model, yeah. So it's a cacao woman, and it's a way to give work into like women, if you're a single mother and you have the kids around, it's something you can do. And for us, it's a way to give back. So everything is hand peeled, but the grinding, we go to the corn grinder. And the roasting, we do a mix. We do fire and we do oven. We have a roasting machine. So we do both.
Okay. So you roast in 2 different ways.
We roast in 2 different ways, oven or fire.
Yeah, I saw you using the fire earlier.
Yeah.
That was really, really cool.
Yeah, the fire has a different taste, different energy, and all ancestral, like, how do you say that? Fables? Like legends. Like if you look
Fables,
at all everything the stories passed down, the fire is a very, very important part in cacao. So it's interesting because the raw movement is like it shouldn't be cooked, you know?
In the oven.
And every single story is passed down. Cacao is passed through the fire. So it's an important, aspect. But yeah, we do oven as well. Oven helps to have quality control so we can optimize nutrition in the cacao, and fire is more the energy of the cacao. So both of them have their benefit. It's just different.
What can you tell, like when you're experiencing it or you're tasting it, about the difference in the energy of the cacao if it's like baked in an oven versus fire in a traditional sense?
Yeah. I think you feel the smokiness of fire.
Yeah.
Like the taste is different. Like it's like activated. It's like, it's delicious. Like it is good. Oven has a smoothness to it. It's like a earthiness. It's I don't know. Like it's it's whole if that makes sense. While fire can be sometimes a bit over fire, roasted over, you know. And when you over fire cacao, I don't know if you can say that.
You put too much, you cook it for too long, or?
Yeah, it's like it takes away some of the core taste of the terroir of the land where it comes from. So every cacao has a very distinct taste. And yeah, with the fire, when you over roast, it's roast I was looking for. When you over roast it, you can take off some of that base taste, like that, like land taste, that fruitiness, nuttiness, like that. Yeah, little particular. Then it becomes more standardized as a taste. Yeah.
So, how many times have you like roasted over the fire? How do you know when to take them off?
Usually there's three things. One is like you'll hear like the crackling of it. So that's usually when humidity gets out of the seeds. So like the water, and it crackles a bit. That's already a sign that it's gonna get close to being ready. The smelling, trusting yourself with like the smell. And then the last one is tasting it. So you just need.
You tried it.
Yeah, you just take like a few seeds, taste it, and makes the process also more fun because then you get cacao. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you not cook it enough? Like, can you undercook it?
Good question. I think it's like in taste again. Like you could you could under toast it. It's like if you eat it just dried raw, basically. It's sometimes a bit hard to digest. Like that would be
okay. Like stomach wise.
Yeah. It wouldn't be like a recommendation.
It's like a green coffee bean versus like
so like you can have one. Like when we ferment the cacao, we'll taste it, we'll eat it. You know, it's okay to have one or two, but to have like morning cups every morning of under roast, under processed cacao, I don't know. Yeah.
So what's the difference between cocoa and cacao? Are they the same?
What at the essence, they're the same seed.
Sure.
The kind of common agreement is cocoa often is a commodity. So it's like a market commodity. It has a price in the market shares, and usually it's based on mass exploitation. So it's it's like the raw product that goes into chocolate. Where cacao, we use it often. It comes from the essence of like cacao, so like the origin, where it comes from. And usually you don't necessarily move it as a commodity, as a making profit, and like just like literally like when we speak out the cocoa industry, we're talking like this is like the cacao, for example, in Guatemala is not even 0.35% of the cacao being exported, and this is we're talking about all of the cacao, so mainly also for chocolate.
Yes.
So then for cacao itself, like that is used in these ways, like we're not part of that market.
Yeah.
Like we're not. Yeah, we're like
it's not a chocolate thing.
Yeah, and we're like such a small part of the movement happening in the world of cacao, of cocoa, that it's like, I wouldn't. Like we're not touching the shares. We're not having much of an impact on prices. Now it's starting to spread, so you see farmers hearing about it, knowing about it, understanding what their cacao is being used for, and then they value it more, and then they see, I could get another price for it because we're not part of the market price. We pay much higher. But I think it's like the intention, where it comes from, and why, how it's like more the raw form of it would be cacao, and the cocoa is when it becomes that commodity and enters the market shares, and like that global movement of like mass production of chocolate.
Yeah.
I think people don't realize how huge that industry is.
And so what makes cacao, specifically in the way that you're doing it, ceremonial or significant? Like, what is the cacao that you work with specifically? Like, what's your intention with working with it?
Yeah. Well, we decided the project we started, it's called Cacao Source.
Okay.
And the intention was to connect the source to the movement. So ensuring that as cacao is being shared globally into ritual setting, that the farmers and the land is not forgotten behind. So really starting the ceremony from the seed, of like ensuring that the forests are cared for, the land is cared for, the farmers get grows at least in abundance. They're still not abundant from it because of how broken the whole cacao and agriculture industry is. But at least they grow in abundance with the movement and they're not left behind. And then the women's collective that come in pills. So making sure that the abundance created by the ceremonial movement comes back to the hand of the indigenous communities where it comes from. And then what makes it ceremonial? There's so many definitions. And I don't like to give a definition because I think it's disempowering for someone who drink and someone who makes their ritual. I like that inner trust. We always want certification and want someone else to label things for us.
To verify it.
And to take away responsibility from like trusting of like, hey, how does that feel on my body and trusting ourselves. For us, how we connect with it, which is one way, is ensuring that the land, again, like where does it come from? Is it agroforestry? It's like taking away, moving from commodity to a relationship and from exploitation to reciprocity. So, but starting from the seed. So like making sure that when it grows, it's in a lush and like a healthy ecosystem, or working at least on working on developing a healthy ecosystem. Because if we're also honest, where we are at today in agriculture wise is most ecosystems have collapsed. So, and we want to have we want to give back. So we want to offer, so we want this ecosystem also to develop. So we don't also only want to work with healthy ecosystem, we want to work with those that we can develop and enrich. And then, the farmers, like how they are, making sure we know like the name of the farmer, who made your medicine, who, you're drinking cacao, you're making an intention, and knowing who, like which hand did it pass in, and making sure, that they also know that their cacao is going as a ritual, as a ceremony, because that also changed their relationship with it. Like most often, one of our favorite questions when we go see the farmers is, do you know what ceremonial cacao is? Most of the time when we first started, the farmers did not know their cacao is going into ceremony. So it's ensuring that the farmers know what's happening with their cacao, know the value. We often bring back the blocks to them that we make. So they see also the finished product of what they create. So they know the value and they know how much it's appreciated, which means they can also know it should be valued.
Yes.
So it empowers them also to like be like, oh, you value it that much. So you can pay more, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That it's special
money is
and
important.
Yeah.
It's we like to romanticize ceremonial cacao, but farmers they want to send their kids to school and to have good food and to build a house for their son that now is getting an adult, and all of that. Yeah. And then the process, so as little processing as possible. So we usually it's pure. We don't mix the paste unless we do this, that now we're exploring with certain recipes, but that we keep the fat in it. So we don't also extract the powder and the butter, but the paste are both, and they're very minimized process. And they pass through the hands of the Kakchika women. That's for us something that was important, of how many hands energy in it. And and then like every packaging is like wrapped like a Christmas gift. And like very, like the rawness of it, the imperfection of it, the nature of it. So keeping that part in the ceremony.
The authenticity and the purity.
Yeah. And then like people. I think it's mainly for me people and relationship, because every relationship then it's like imprinted in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to a couple of cacao ceremonies, but can you explain for me like what the spiritual, even healing intention, like I've heard people refer to it as medicine, but I don't understand what that means.
So there's different layers to cacao.
Okay.
That's why for me it's been an incredible passion, because you layer and there's like another one, and it's holistic, like there's a wholesome to it. So you can start just by the science of cacao, like the mind, the human mind with like our numbers and all of that. It's actually a medicine. Like if you look at the ingredients, what's in it, if you think about the antioxidants and literally every good thing you can ingest, it's basically in cacao. It's a superfood.
Cool.
And so this will help with cardiovascular, which is very interesting because chocolate industry is one of the prime cause of heart diseases, and because of the sugar fat put all together, and it creates like one of the cause of diabetes and so many other health issues. And cacao is also the medicine of it. So like one seed can be both the poison and the medicine. But if it's in its pure form without mass sugar, processed white sugar mixed with it with palm oil and all these things, it's really good, and it can prevent cancer and prevent heart diseases.
Really?
So it has a lot, and it's one of the, there's like the theobromine in it that is like this like happiness molecule, and so it helps against depression, and like there's so many different areas where it's a preventative medicine. So again, medicine is like, I see it like an ecosystem of like, when you say these plants directly from nature is a medicine, and the Western medicine, it's often not looked upon because often it works in a healthy ecosystem. So it's like if you work with a monoculture field, so that we're so used to put pesticide and fertilizers, and then you're like, try this natural medicine. It takes up to 3 years to bring a monoculture, so like a field that used a lot of pesticide and fertilizer, into an organic field again.
Really?
And have a healthy ecosystem. So if you just put the natural medicine in the field, it won't really work. So I feel it's the same with humans when we're so used to take Western medicine and a lot of chemicals to our body, and then you try cacao and you're like, like it doesn't prevent cancer, it doesn't help against heart disease, but it's because we don't have a full ecosystem in our body anymore. We're relying on fertilizers and pesticides in another expression of it, So it's like, it's a whole lifestyle of, if you really want to work with these as medicine, it's like it's building up a healthy ecosystem inside of you. But then there's the spiritual medicine, so say it's a heart opener. So again, it works with the cardiovascular system. So it literally feels like your blood is pumping around your heart. So it feels like your heart is expanding, and it is in a certain way. And it depends, like it's like, it's very subtle. And I think when I first started working with cacao, I worked with it for activism, so for social and environmental. And then I saw people having literally life-changing experience with it. And I was like, that's actually working, like on the spiritual side. Like people would like blossom and would go like through deep shadows and would like, rebirth from it, and would have like illness healed from it, and like crazy, like beautiful, impacts on people's life. And then when you look at the legends of it, it's also the shadow, the rebirth, the underworld, the Shibadba, and it has like its own like, it's very linked to the shadow, to like the death, the rebirth, the duality, so it's a very interesting world cosmovision in the spiritual side, I feel. But there's so much layer to it.
Is that just from doing like one cacao ceremony, or is it like using it as like a consistent practice in someone's life, like to experience that healing? Now, you said it's like, if you're using a lot of Western medicine and your body has a lot of toxins, you can't expect this to do magic. But when you're living in that lifestyle, it's a little bit more organic and a little bit more authentic, with the way that you experience your food and your medicine, this can be a really productive tool.
I think everyone has their resonance. Like if everyone has their own like it's a medicine again. It's like if you're not sick and you're taking medicine, does that make sense? Like it's if you're not sick and you're taking Advils, will it change your state? I don't know. Like I think everyone has their own relationship and resonance, and some people will take one-time cacao in a bigger dose and will like, wow, and other people will take it for years, and it's gonna be like heating up like a crab, like in the water that you boil down, like a lobster that you boil, and then like, oh wow, like I'm, and you don't even know it's happening until like it's already happened. So yeah, I think everyone's very, very different, and there's not like one fit. Like it's all relation. It's like you meet a human. How will you feel with that human will be different of how I feel with that human, and the depth you're gonna go with that human. You might go like, that's my like soulmate, and I'll meet that person. I'll be like, ah, cool dude, you know.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So I think for me, like it's like it goes with relationships. So some people will like meet cacao and they'll be like, that's it.
Yep.
And they're gonna go so deep with it, and they're gonna like they're gonna journey, they're gonna like get to know each other, and other people will just pass by and barely notice, and then they're gonna see Rose and they're gonna connect with Rose. You know, so I think everyone's very, very different, and how we're gonna be touched. Yeah, it's very different.
That's really cool. So is it something that you think you should just honor as a medicine, or like it can be like a common practice in like as a lifestyle? You know, people
Yeah,
like just
yeah.
eat chocolate recreationally.
Yeah, I love that. You know, I what I love the most about cacao is nature. It's like I fell in love with it because of the forest and agroforestry and how it works. And I love the inclusivity of cacao.
Yeah.
And I think cacao has its own agenda. I think like we always try to project our own like ideals on it, and I think it has its own agenda. And it's very smart. Plants are so smart, and they know like the whole like plants is like, you know, they're gonna make themselves a certain way to be shared. So let's say, for example, the cacao, only humans and the spider monkey, the howler monkey, are able to take the pod out of the tree. So the pod never falls off of the tree. So it's like build certain relationship with the people who's gonna propagate their fruits and their seeds, so then it can keep seeding. And it's the same. Other fruits are like meant for the bats. So the bats, because the bats are amazing seed propagator. So I think plants are way smarter than we think. And it's amazing. Everyone can have their own relationship with it, and I think it's amazing. Like it shares across. Like even now, it's been mass exploited, and now there's like this movement of like, but everyone already knows cacao. So that movement that is happening, that now we're valuing cacao, and it's like really growing very, very quickly. It's so easy to grow because everyone has already a relationship with chocolate. So even if chocolate was such a negative impact, it got to the heart of everyone, and now the movement is coming, and it's like easier to share. I don't know. I think
It's like a full circle.
yeah, I think cacao has a bigger agenda and smart. Like the plants are very smart, and how to connect with it, no one should ever judge. Like it's inclusive. Like if you look at nature, at the ecosystem, it's always inclusive. It's always welcoming. It's like beautiful. You want to join, amazing.
Yeah.
Whoever you are, whatever it's your background, amazing. I'll meet you where you're at,
Wow. Yeah.
and then you can grow from there. Of course, there's always the question of respect. Of like, for me, that's where ceremony is another subject. Then ceremony comes more of like,
Yeah.
you don't want to dilute the work, the work of wisdom keepers that walk for a very long time with their life to safeguard certain wisdom. You want to be mindful with the cultural side of it, and include as much as the people where it comes from. So for me, cacao is not my culture to share. So when we'll work with more ceremonial rituals, we'll invite people that it's their culture.
Yeah.
And then we can co-create together. But yeah, but
That's really respectful.
chocolate is amazing.
Yeah.
Like we love chocolate. I think and I think there's better way to make chocolate. And that's why for me cacao source makes sense, because it's instead of saying chocolate is wrong, it's like saying there's an alternative, here it is. That's my way to take action. Yeah.
So what brought you into personally connecting with cacao specifically? Of all the beautiful things that you seem like you have a really like open heart in the way that you connect with nature, connect with others. What made you? How did this calling specifically call to you?
Yeah, very good question. That's why I'm like, I think plants are smarter than us.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they're like, oh, you exploit. You know, I am a foreigner working with cacao.
Sure.
And sometimes from outside, if there's no context, it's like, if you're foreigner working with cacao, you must be exploiting it. I'm like, I'm not sure who's exploiting who.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, like the amount of time worked for cacao is huge. I'm like, wow, like she's so smart. She she figured it out. But for me, it was it's a social environmental activism. So I was working with social projects, alternative project retreat centers, and it was always something missing. Like there was always like, if it's environmental, the social part is missing, or the community part, or the spiritual part. Like there was.
What do you mean?
Like if you work with an NGO, let's say.
Okay.
The economic part often is missing.
Yeah.
So you're going to be basically a martyr for a cause, or like you're going to like sacrifice your well-being for, or you know, you won't have the abundance part. Or even if you do social NGOs, sometimes then you'll reuse plastic cups and things, you know, and for me, cacao has that wholesome answer to everything. It's just like, wait, we work with humans, we work for nature, we work in community, we drink the product in community. It's healthy for your, like when you consume it, it's actually enriching to you. It's not, you know, it's depleting your health, it's actually enriching your health. And then you do it in beautiful settings. You give back, and you can also make it abundant in all of the ways for everyone. So that became kind of a puzzle of like how to work with cacao in a system, in a heart-led commerce system of like, it's how to like close all the cycles in the bridge, and that became kind of my life path. So it's more on the commerce side. I became very passionate of like, how can we basically have the other side of the coin of the mass exploitation of the chocolate industry. Because then they exploit in every sense, from like health, nature, people, like every ways they move cocoa is exploitative. And it can literally be the complete opposite. So that's been like a whole journey. But in the capitalist system, it's a good it's a good challenge to do it with ethics and with healing. Like there's a lot of healing in the commerce side of it, of how do we share cacao in respect to the culture, to where it comes from, to the people who receives it, to not only have it shared with people with privilege, but that, you know, it should be shared, like how do we bring it accessible? Like there's so many layers to it. And I think that's a beautiful life path. That's for me the depth that got me excited.
In your like personal relationship with the plant, what do you feel like it's? You said that they're much smarter than us. Do you feel like it sees it understands that now that people they all understand chocolate, that there's another way where people soon will be able to understand it for its purity process instead of the commercialization and just the candy, you know?
Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, I wouldn't make up an answer now.
Yeah.
I think there's different. Yeah, it's so easy to try to box something and say this is the way.
Yeah.
And actually, there's so many depth to that question, and
you seem really open to whatever it ends up looking like.
I think if you try to do your best, then, and sometimes you try to do your best and it's good, sometimes it's not. Like it's a whole, process. It's a whole, Yeah. I don't know if it makes sense.
But it does make sense. It does make sense. Do you, how would you describe like your personal relationship with cacao?
For me, it's been very interesting. It's been a good roller coaster. I think, as I mentioned at first, I didn't believe much in the spiritual side of it. Like I did, and I was like, you can drink cacao and rituals. It's if
Be
it works
nice.
for you.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
amazing.
If it works for you, sure.
Yeah, go
why
for it.
not?
You do
Yeah.
you, you know, and you're doing it and you're valuing it. That's amazing. But yeah, we do a lot of trainings and immersions, and throughout those, wow, like these hit me, and like we would go like 10 days or a week with a group with a lot of cacao, and like my whole inner world would get moved, and I was like, I would go, yeah, it's a super, super interesting. The first trainings, I think we never understood the depth of the work we were doing. Like we knew it, and like the container was well kept, but yeah, the depth of the like group setting, cacao with the forest, with the trees and all of that. And like I would see definitely had a lot of very big processes. And a bit like I was saying to lobster earlier, because that's how for me my relationship evolved, where I would always have cacao because it's part of my whole world. Like my whole, wake up, it's cacao, go to bed, our whole day-to-day full-time work is cacao.
Sure.
Until one day I was like, oh, like, yeah, I completely changed throughout the years. And it was so slowly cooked that it's not something I could see from the start. But for me, I think the deepest relationship I have is with the sacred commerce part of it. Of that's where every time, even if I'm always around cacao, the ceremonial part is beautiful. I love participating, but it's not my path. And when it comes to commerce, I see a whole spiritual realm in it that is fascinating, and there's so much work to do, and it's so real because it's a real thing. It's not in the air. It's not just passing on knowledge. It's like every action you do have a whole repercussion on hundreds of people. So how you show up in leadership, in your relationship with others, with intercultural relationships, which is a world of learning, never-ending learnings of like connecting with Quechua communities, with Ladino communities, with Kaqchikel communities, Tutuil. So it's always like every relationship is a whole bridge building between culture and understanding. So for me, it's been like that doorway. Cacao for me, it's that like mirror, that very deep mirror of the work we do with commerce. That's been my relationship with it, of like full-time dedication.
So what I understand is, for you, it's more so wanting to support the entire the side of sourcing, the most
And sharing.
organic and pure,
Yeah.
and from beginning with the farmers and the process of how it's made, and in the way that it's experienced and shared, all the way up to the ceremonial experience.
Yeah.
Because people will make ceremonial cacao with cacao that maybe isn't coming from an organically sourced place, or
Which is also, that's where the beauty of cacao is. Of course, we want the cacao to come from organic places.
Sure.
But also, like, learning to enjoy what you have in front of you is so important. So if you have a cup and it's not from organic, it's not from that like perfectly sourced place, enjoy your cup. It's in front of you,
Yeah.
So like there's so many sources of cacao, and there's so many ways to relate with cacao. And at the end, you just need to appreciate also what's already around you and still work towards getting better sourcing. And there's always an involvement, but start where you're at and then evolve and then regenerate. But yeah, I think it's, for me, it's giving that alternative, but also like, not gatekeeping. Like there's cacao is amazing. It can speak for itself. If you drink cacao, you can feel it. Does your body feel good? Yes or no? I absolutely love our cacao, and there's so many amazing cacao out there. But for us, it's making sure that the whole process from the farmers, from the nature, collaborating with agronomists, and then with anthropologists, and then internationally having the right education, like sharing enough education so people can make their own conscious choices on their sourcing of cacao, however that looks like. Yeah.
The way you describe this, you use it feels like you're very surrendered and very open to just trusting other people, trusting the process. It doesn't feel like you're speaking with any sort of like control or wanting things to look a certain way. You're just like, this is my work, this is what I care about. And it feels like you do it with a spirit of love.
Yeah, which should be, no?
Well, absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Which is funny because there are a lot of people who talk about the experience of doing it with love, but then when it comes to the action of doing it, they're maybe unconscious of the fact that they have these beliefs within themselves about how something should be.
Yeah.
Well, everyone who is in a cacao ceremony should have organically sourced cacao that's regenerative farmed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The farmers should be paid more, you know what I mean? Like a sort of like a stance or a belief where I feel like when you say whatever cup you have in front of you, experience it and enjoy it, that feels very just like open and accepting.
I think when you work enough long in the have campos, like in the fields, like with farmers, with agriculture, you de-romanticize a lot of these concepts.
You de-romanticize?
Yeah, like it's not pretty. You know, agriculture right now is very sick. Like it's really really sick. And yeah, I think it's like understanding that like I rarely saw a perfect, land project sourcing. Like every sourcing has its challenge, has its like beauty in it. It's very human from the start when you like work with like the whole process nonstop. Like that's like our whole life. There's so much beauty in it, and it's so human. And once you see that humanness, it's like you shed layers and layers and layers, and you're like, oh, actually, we're just all human and trying to do our best. And from the seed, even nature, even the tree, just trying to do their best. And then there's like a drought, and it's like, oh shit, there's a drought. What do I do with my roots? And and then it dies or it survives. So I think, it's like perfection doesn't exist. Like you were saying, pure. It's like I think it's so human, even with like spiritual leaders, like the more you walk alongside, the more human you realize everyone is, and everyone has their shadow, and me included,
Yeah.
So I think it would be, and I'm Canadian, I'm a Canadian woman in Guatemala, so it's also
You're
not
Canadian.
I'm Canadian.
I did not know that.
So it's not my space to like safeguard, it's not like it's not my wisdom, like that wisdom hasn't been passed on to me. So the only thing I can do is support.
Yes.
I can do the work, and the work is not also always the pretty one, the one that serves the medicine, and there's so much more work and service to do to cacao than serving the cacao. And so for me, my personal relation with cacao, like I love taking a cup of cacao. Like for me, it's very personal. It's very intimate.
Yeah.
So even in group settings, sometimes I have difficulty to arrive with cacao. It's like something that I love doing by myself.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, or sharing it like with a loved one or like a best friend,
like close intimacy versus a bigger group.
Yeah. It's very like me and cacao. Like it's very intimate. If I invite someone, like it's like an act of intimacy for me. And it won't be a ceremony. It will be just like a circle or like small, like, hey, like, you want to share cacao with your mom or with like people, or like I have like this amazing medicine. Do you want some?
Yeah.
So it's very personal. If like the consumption of cacao for me is very personal.
So can you tell me more about like what it is? You said you operate somewhat in like a commerce respect.
Yeah.
What is it that you're working to support in cacao in this very specific way?
Well, and for me, cacao is like is an expression of commerce. So it's like it's one seed. So this if like that base we have here comes from that one seed.
Okay.
So it's one ingredient, one seed. It's very, very simple, and it expresses everything wrong and good about society right now. So it expresses the darkest side of society and of our systems in one seed. It's I don't remember the numbers, but it's one of the most mass-produced exploitative commodity existing right now. And it's one of the highest potential superfood existing right now
Really?
on Earth. So it's a very, very complex food. And so for me, it's working with cacao is beyond just working with cacao. So my dedication is to that path of commerce, because we speak often of healing, but you were saying at the moment, we have like that personal path with healing. And when we enlarge it, often there's a lot of subconscious thought and a lot of like ickiness and crunchiness. And, there's like these, things we're taught since we're young that we don't even question in ways we relate with what we consume. And there's so much healing to do with that. And we often don't look at business, it's like business is not spiritual. It's like that thing we put apart. And it's the source of most of our biggest challenge of
Business?
the world right now. Yeah, it's like our health is linked to business. Our way of relating is linked to business. Like every source of like our day-to-day life is basically sourced on the business side. So working with that for me is probably one of the most spiritual paths you can take, because it's like this space between everything. And with cacao, it's like instead of trying to take the whole world, you're like, I'll just work with cacao. And when you understand one thing, but really, really well, it helps you to understand everything. So you see a lot of mirrors of society and works and how you can do, like now we're working to selling our cacao across seas, because the cell routes like were used for slavery and were used for, again, mass exploitation. So all these like routes where boats that we never see, never speak about, has so much pain in them. And how can we also go in healing of like routes, the space between again, and like, so using cacao just as one mirror, but of something much bigger. That's like for me, my passion with it, of like, there's a lot of, it's a very, very big mirror to ourselves first, and then to society.
It's not just healing in what it is as a medicine, but it's also healing in the process of working with it all the way through. By knowing it very deeply, it's a mirror to everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like sometimes we want to know everything, we want to like master everything, but sometimes mastering, just like getting very deep in one relationship helps all relationships. So then for me, cacao has been that one relationship, but then that helps with all of the other relationships. So let's say here we do a lot of bamboo.
Yeah.
We love bamboo.
Yeah.
And then it's the same. It has its own world. People passionate by bamboo, they like it's the solution for everything, They're like, you don't get it. Bamboo, like it's for structure, it's for eating, it's for like artisanals, it's for like regeneration, stopping erosion. Like there's this whole world where bamboo is also the mirror of everything. So I think it's just about being passionate about one thing and caring enough about one thing that helps you to care about everything.
Yeah.
What's cacao for you? Now that you've filled 2 pounds.
Yeah, I have filled 2 pounds. This was the first time I've ever done this. We're over here roasting these beans, and I walk up and I'm like, what you roasting coffee beans? And no, it was cacao beans. And you pick one up and you peel it and you eat it. And I was like, oh, that's how you do that. I've never seen that before. And you're like, you want to peel this whole bucket of bean? Is it a bean? What would you call it?
It's actually a seed.
A seed, okay.
But it's known as a bean now.
It's known as a bean?
But officially at the source, it's a seed. Because before you process it, before you ferment it and dry it, you can literally just like eat the fruit and suck the pulp out and plant. And these little cacao trees there were just out of eating a fruit and putting the seed in the earth, and that's just it.
Yeah.
So it's the seed, and then once it's transformed, it's called a bean. Yeah,
Yeah.
we call it seeds. Yeah.
I love chocolate and cacao in its most like pure form. I remember one of the first times I had cacao was like in like a cacao ceremony experience was in Costa Rica, where they do sell the bar.
Yeah.
And I was like in love with the fact that there was like no sugar. Like people would add honey and things like that, but it was just water and cacao.
Yeah.
You know, or add some milk or something like that. And for me, I don't know that I could speak necessarily to the level of spiritual significance that it's had for me, but in the times that I have experienced it, I do understand the feeling of relief.
Yeah.
Or just like openness, maybe even excitement, because it's a little bit stimulating, but in a very like centering way, in a very calming way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like coffee often stimulates from the mind.
Yes.
So you get like, and then you get your down, and cacao stimulates from the heart. So it's very like, centered. You named it really well.
Yeah.
So it's like stimulates your heart to like, but it's not here. It's like here.
Yeah. You say coffee's in mind, probably?
It's like a mind stimulator, and cacao is a heart stimulator.
Yeah.
So starting the morning with cacao, it does. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a very amazing energizer.
I'd make smoothies at home in Texas with the the pure cacao powder, whatever I can find in the States, right? And I remember I had a smoothie at like 4:00 at night, and I was just poured it in from the package. I was like, oh, just make it really chocolatey.
Yeah.
And I couldn't sleep all night. But I couldn't figure out why I couldn't sleep. And someone had told me that they were putting too much chocolate in their smoothies. And they were not able to sleep consistently at night. And I did some research, and it's a completely different chemical in chocolate that acts as a stimulant to the body that is more heart-centering, because it's much more calming, actually.
Some people that can drink cacao at night, some people will have crazy dreams. Other people can just not drink cacao at night. They're going to stay awake. But yeah, it does, I try to not drink cacao like after 4.
Yeah.
If not, if not, it's hard. Maybe that's why last night I didn't sleep well. I
Really?
had some at 4, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the full, but.
Oh, that's true. That's very true.
Do you want to try the grinding?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, then.
So what's the process? They get the bean from the plant, from the seed.
Yeah.
You can eat the fruit. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the white fruit.
The white fruit, yeah.
Yeah, the white. It's delicious.
Yeah.
Cacao, yeah. But actually, you can still eat the white pulp and then collect the seed, or you can put the whole fruit in a box, a wooden box. Then we put banana leaves. Banana leaves has this like a white little powder on it. So you put this inside where the cacao will be, and that's kind of a stimulator of the fermentation as well. And then you close the fermentation, and for 3 days you put all the fruits with the seed, the whole thing. You fill up a box, and a bigger box is better because then there's more heat generated. So the process activates even better. And you close the thing, and for like 3 days you don't touch it at all. You let the heat pick, and then you let the movement happen. And then for the next, like depending of how long you want your fermentation, some people do it 5 days, 7 days, 9 days. So, but 3 days no touching, and then you move it every day until you feel your fermentation is complete. So the moment your fermentation is complete, you can often see it. You just like cut your seed, and you'll see how like inside the seed, the level of fermentation. You put it in the drying racks. You dry it until the moisture goes out, until it's a good level. and then you put it in bags and you roast
Yeah.
and grind and roast, peel,
Deal.
grind,
Yep.
and then you can mold it, and then you can like keep it for later or just drink it right away. Yeah.
So this, for example, does it need to be grind? Does it need anything else after this process?
No, so the cacao you had earlier is
Yeah.
just this
Okay.
mixed with water.
Yeah.
But we're turning this into discs. So we're gonna start doing recipes like with different spices. Probably add like some ginger, some chile.
Yeah.
So we're doing an extra step to it, which usually we never do. Like with our ceremonial blocks, we just grind into molds and that's it. But now we're putting it in mélangeur to do discs. So we're trying in new recipes. So not having it pure, but having it intentionalized with certain ingredients. So yeah, so now it's spinning around, and we're gonna transform it just one step further.
So the batch that we're working on right now, it's just a sample.
Yeah, we're tasting new cacao seeds. It's from a new community. It's the first time ever we tried our cacao, and they're waiting on me. I told them today. I'll tell them if the cacao is good. So they're waiting on me to have the consensus if we like the cacao or not, and if they're going to produce more. They're a beautiful Quechua community, and they have a lot of cacao trees. Like over a decade ago, I think, an NGO came and planted a lot of cacao trees in the community with them, but left them. So they never had really the after process. So they have lots of cacao, but no maintenance and no harvesting of the cacao because there's nowhere to really share the cacao. So now when they heard about us, they were very excited. And then we did a workshop we built some fermentation box with them. We did a workshop on how to ferment cacao, and now they did the first process. That's the first ever fermentation they've done. And
so they never process their cacao until.
Well, they make cacao, but usually you wash cacao.
Yeah.
So that's like the less, The washed cacao is not necessarily bad. It's just you take off the fruit pulp. Again, there's no bad cacao. That's all in our mind of humans of trying to put like what's bad and what's right.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's good, that's wrong. But there's no good or wrong. Washed cacao is just a different process. They wash the pulp out, and that's usually, so the fermentation helps with pre-digestion of cacao. So it helps us to absorb. It helps the bioavailability of nutrients for our body to absorb.
Gotcha.
So washed cacao actually most often have more nutrients than fermented cacao. So it has higher levels of flavonoid, for example. And it's not necessarily absorbed by our body. So on paper, it looks better. But on consequence of the ingestion of it, it doesn't have the same effect. But it's an interesting one. Like it's an interesting one of like, and it's very bitter. That's like the fermentation helped to reduce that stringentness, like the bitterness of the cacao. So washed cacao is often like
very bitter.
Very bitter.
And if you eat too much, will it make you a little sick or?
Like it depends. Like anything that you consume too much will make you sick.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, like you can process. Like you can definitely process washed cacao into blocks and drink that. It's just like the experience will just it's bitter, and bitterness sometimes it's a good sign. It's medicine.
Yeah.
Bitterness is like it's sweetness inside and sweetness outside. Sometimes it's bitterness inside.
Yeah. So where is this community from that you got these beans?
This one is Plan Grande Tatin. So it's in the forest. It's 45-minute pickup from Livingston in Guatemala. And you go in the back of a pickup. And so it's like in the forest.
Yeah.
Or 1 hour from Rio dos, and you can like take a boat and then hike the jungle, and you pass by a beautiful, huge cave. That's Cueva Tigre that used to have a jaguar. There's legends of it was the home of a jaguar, and they did ceremonies for, I think it's just 20 days of ceremony every day, who asked the jaguar to find a new home, because the jaguar then would go eat like the chickens and from the community. But yeah, it's a beautiful Kekchi community. It's the last one down the road. And when I say Livingston is not even a road. You can only get there by boat.
Yeah.
And then there's this one road that goes very deep in the jungle, and then you arrive to this community. And yeah, it's a beautiful community. They have a lot, as I mentioned, like they have like probably thousands of trees of cacao.
Wow.
And they haven't been really harvesting. There's a few family that harvest, but most of the cacao hasn't been harvested since there was no market, and it's so much work.
And they have no way of like exporting at this moment.
Yeah, or if there is a market, it's like, yeah, it doesn't worth the effort of the harvest and the maintenance and
So how do you determine, like when you make a cup or when you try this cacao, how do you determine, all right, this is good cacao or this is not good cacao, or like, you know what I mean? Like what does that look like for you of like, oh, this is something that I want to work with?
Yeah, there's a technical side to it, and there's also a very personal and biased side to it.
Yeah.
Is it biased when you're
like
it's like your personal
subjective,
taste. Yeah, like you try the cacao and you're like, do I like it?
Yeah.
You're like,
Do I like it?
Yeah. Like, is it good? You know? So that's like the first thing. It's like, do you like the cup you're drinking? Again, like, yeah, when it's washed, sometimes for me, it's so bitter. And I'm quite good with bitter. And it's really hard.
I love the bitter.
Yeah, I like it. But like, there's one bitterness that it's like, okay.
Strong.
Yeah. Like it's...
Fuerte.
But yeah, this one that says very smooth. It's very, very smooth. Like the cup you drank, there was nothing in it. It's just cacao and water.
Yeah.
And it's just very squared.
Yes, it was.
But yeah, then there's like in technicality, looking at the fermentation, looking at the moisture. So we work with a lot of cacao, which means if the drying process is not well done enough, it can bring a lot of, we call it Playa. It's like small little bugs, worms that goes, and that can infest the whole storage of cacao.
Yeah.
So for us, that's definitely, one of the main, we're looking in moisture, we're looking the land where it comes from. We're looking, the moisture, the fermentation, the taste. We do test once we accept an origin, then we test it in lab to see the heavy metals content and see if it's good. Because if one territory is, let's say, has like, there can be like a leak of cadmium, or I don't know if they try it by the cars where gasoline pass by, then there's going to be very high level of heavy metals, which can be very dangerous for consumption.
Yeah.
So test the last, once we like it, once it's like the whole process, the relationship. Also, it's a relationship. So we need to be in it together. Like we're not looking to buy commodity. So if that's the only thing we can find out of a partner, then it's just not the right partner for us.
Yeah.
So we're looking for people. Let's say this community, we shared about fermentation and they right away applied it. They got excited. They're in contact with us. They're growing with us. Then we get excited. So good relationships.
And it sounds like you're also really willing to work with the farm over the course of time.
Yeah.
That's in the process.
Yeah, that's
of like improving their experience.
Yeah, and then we have a few farm origins that are a bit more advanced.
Yeah.
And thanks to them, we can also learn from their processes and their learning and the intelligence they gather, and we can redistribute that intelligence to smaller farms that don't have the same access of knowledge. So we do a mix of types of relationships.
How many different, are most of your relationships in Guatemala specifically?
Only Guatemala.
Okay. Gotcha. And is that just because you live in Guatemala, or is that because it's chocolate cacao's better in Guatemala, or like,
It's-
you know, like
yeah, we're located like with the project.
just stay
started.
local. Yeah, it
And
totally makes sense.
also, when we started Cacao Source, we didn't have any like investment. We didn't have any funds.
Yeah.
The first cacao we processed was basically invested by the farmers. So they borrowed, basically, they gave in advance a cacao, believing in us, and the women's collective processed them, believing in us, and then we repaid and we brought more, and we grew. So we grew from like
Wow.
zero.
Just the offering of cocoa beans.
Yeah, and like we grew with the farmers and the women's collective. So the project doesn't like belong to us; it belongs to all of us. So we can't really move the project because it's not just ours.
Yeah.
So the women's collective also invested a lot. You know, when we started, we couldn't give as much as we're giving now, but they believe it would grow as much as we couldn't give to ourselves what we're giving to ourselves now. So we all grew together, and I think, yeah, when you invest in something, like it's also yours, and so there's a certain loyalty that we have to people we work with in Guatemala because they're cacao source, like it's a project of all of us.
And you seem like you're in a really unique position in the process. Because I assume at this point, after you, it's going to market for the most part.
Yeah.
And so what does that process of bringing this product to market look like for you, being that not only are you here to test the process, but then also to test the product, but as you're bringing it to market, how do you go about doing that?
Yeah, we work with a lot of distributors, so we have an incredible international community.
Okay, cool.
That works with us.
Nice.
Because we're not there. We focus in Guatemala. We're like all our focus is here.
Yeah.
And so again, Cacao Source, it's all collaborations, and everyone is their own boss. Like everyone is their own leader. So we have an incredible community abroad that loves our project, loves our cacao, and shares it with their community. And then they can be very present because cacao is about presence. If you don't know the hands where it's passed on, it's kind of sad. Like it kind of loses the intentionality of it. So the community we have internationally, most of them are really good friends. So also it's like working with friends. So like, you have like a call to share your cacao and you're calling your best friend and how's the kids, everyone's getting pregnant, it's the age. But yeah, we're like all growing together and it's very beautiful. And then they know their community personally. So then there's a hand-to-hand process also of how it's passed down. But yeah, the international community, our distributors are like the ambassador distributor, however, they're very essential. Like for me, there's 4 pillars in the work we do. There's the farmers, a women's collective, the Cacao Source leadership team, so like the core team that manages it, and then the distributors. And without one of the 4, we're not Cacao Source. We're not it's not working. Yeah.
Because you need the farmers and the women who are working and so what is the women's project that do the peeling of the seeds?
So we have 8 women's collective.
A women's collective.
Yeah, we call them women's collective. So they're all in San Marcos, Laguna. So it's all Kaqchikel women. And every collective has a leader. So they're local leaders, some women that have they're powerful women, like badass. And so they're all independent. So they don't work for Cacao Source. They create their own collective. We support them. So we bring the knowledge, the cacao. We work alongside very closely, but they always choose how much they want to work, when they work, where they work. They're their own independent collective. So most of them now have their own cacao project. So also they're not in exclusivity to us. So if they want to have their own project, they can. If they would want to work for someone else, they can as well.
That's kind of cool. It's that level of openness. I love.
Yeah, but then it's keeps us accountable because if we're not if we're not paying enough or if not respecting enough, like they'll just go work for someone else or do something else. So it
very
really brings
relational.
us accountable to the work we do, and then we grow together. And every collective, I've usually like 5 to 8 women in each collective. So there's about 40 women, and they're in charge of the whole process from the seed. When we receive the seed, we have a production space with a production team that is part of the core leadership team of cacao. So they do all the quality control tests, all of that. And then the redistribution of the seeds to the collective. And then the collective is roast, peel, grind, mold, and bring back to the block to another quality control, and then it gets packaged and redistributed. Yeah.
I love that. That's cool. And I love that with what you do, you're really intentional about seeing everything from the very beginning of the process, too, from the farms and the farmers, and making sure that there's good education with fermentation and things like that. That's really cool. So, what brought you to Guatemala?
I thought I would build my life in Brazil.
Really?
And
You said, where are you from again?
I'm from Canada.
Which part?
Quebec.
Quebec. Okay.
And work visa situation, then work out after 2 years. And so I was looking to what to do with my life next. And at that time I was consultant in alternative businesses. So like retreat centers, community, NGOs, things like that. And I found a work in the Katitan where I consulted for a place for 6 months. And from there I met my business partners. And they were really the one passionate about cacao. I was always passionate about the alternative business side, like
What is alternative business? What do you mean?
Well, it's like, how do you do business in new ways of outside of the capitalist system? Because commerce will always existed before capitalists existed.
Oh, that's an interesting way to put it.
So how to do commerce and how to, move things around the world, but outside the capitalist system. Because we still need to exchange goods. When people are like, oh, we shouldn't buy from Africa, from South, we should. We need to exchange. This is so important in peace building, in cultural understanding, and connection, and relationship cross, culture. So that interconnection of good is not bad. It's how we do it that it's bad. So when I met my business partners, they were so passionate about cacao. And I was like, cool. And I was looking at their dreams, and I was like, that kind of makes sense. That sounds cool. And then they're like, it sounds great, but we know nothing about business. I was like,
I'm good at that.
Yeah, I was like, I can give you a consultancy. I was not even thinking about much. I was like, just, I love what you're doing. I love the idea. So I'm happy to sit and kind of map it up.
Yeah.
And then we fell in love and started the project together. And, and then I stayed in, and then got the dog, fell in love with the Guatemalan, got another dog, Elan, then the cacao sauce grew, and then my roots just got deeper and deeper and deeper. Probably as much I'm getting dirtier and dirtier during this.
That's perfect.
But I never thought I would stay in Guatemala. It's just never.
Yeah.
The initial intention was.
It's like it found you almost.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
We never know. I'm still young, but it's
sure.
Because it is such a strong culture, so you're always going to be a foreigner here. I'm always going to be a foreigner.
A foreigner. Yes.
Yeah. So it's that's a hard thing for my heart. I'm a very home person. I love saying my home, and it's hard when, the culture is so different, and there's a certain respect I need to understand. It is not my home. It's like it got stewarded by people, by nations over here for a very long time. So that's for me, the only like sour side of living here.
Yeah.
But like I love the idea of a home, and I want to respect that this is the home of of another culture. Yeah.
So does this not feel like your home?
Yeah, like
Because you do have what feels to me like a very beautiful home here.
yeah. Well, I'm a very homey person,
Yeah,
so I
okay.
build home everywhere I go.
It's very cozy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's home for now. But yeah, when I have kids and like I want like I don't want my kids to be foreigner. Like I want them to feel home and yeah. But yeah, it is for now. It's my home, and I'm like caring for the land. And I have a beautiful village to do that. I'm very, very grateful. I have the village here is very, very amazing. So yeah,
Getting to be a part of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
in my own way. Yeah.
How did you land on this area?
I used to support a project on the other side of Guatemala. There was this beautiful natural reserve. And they wanted to transform it it was already a private natural reserve, but they were trying to find a way to keep it sustainable of how it's just like 800 hectare of land and 200 hectare of coffee.
Yeah.
But the 800 was this like last bit of jungle where there's like still puma, wild pigs, monkeys, like the last monkeys of the Pacific coast. And I really loved it. So I was helping out there, and we have an NGO as well, and we built a women center over there for bamboo artisanals. And this land here on the other side of Guate was the holiday home of the owners of that farm. So through relationships, we got very, very blessed by this land with my ex-partner. Building and co-creating and working for something without we never thought that this relationship could lead to such abundance and such a beautiful place. And
From what I've seen here, you've how many years has it been in this space?
A year and a half.
You're really only a year and a half?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we had a lot of amazing people that passed by, and
I'm really surprised that this is only a year and a half.
Yeah.
Because that's very fast. For what's been built here, it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels like this is a 15-year project. Yeah.
Yeah, the goal is to have it completely self-sustainable homestead. Like I want a homestead. Like simple, small, about the land in 5 years. So my vision was, transforming this place within 5 years in a self-sustainable homestead, to have enough abundance of vegetable to give back to the village. But it's, when like you have a dream and it's like literally like a vomit. So for me, arriving here was literally like, it's just very clear, like the vision of like, that's, and the steps. And it's just like, it's just like,
you could see it.
Yeah. Like it's just,
Do you have a very like strategic or business oriented thought process sometimes?
Maybe like naturally, but it's not, there's no business plan about this place.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like, now it's the time of that. And when you know. And when it comes from this like passion or this like it needs to birth, everything aligns and it goes so quick. So when you have a plan and you make it with the mind, sometimes you like force against current. But when you like have no plan and then you're like, I need a chicken coop. I want chicken, like now is the time for chickens. And then the chicken, then it's going to happen. Then you'll have the right people at the right time to build the chicken coop. Or like, now we want a tea house. That's our next project. It's like, now it's time for a tea house. We need a place to drink tea and have a cat because it's a dog place.
Yeah.
So there's no plan, but there's, in my mind, there's like a whole path that is very clear, but it's not like planned. Yeah.
How do you, I'm asking for my personal self, how do how do you operate in that flow of when it's time for the right thing to be birthed into creation?
What do you mean?
Like when it's time for a chicken coop will appear and there'll be the right people and the right resources at the right time.
Yeah.
As opposed to operating with the mind in a state of force.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you differentiate those? How do you know when something's being led with the mind versus led with the heart?
I know when your whole body knows.
Yeah.
And also you see it because it's like you're like in constant feedback with the world. So if you want something and everything aligns, you're like, oh. And when like everything goes in your way and it's not working, then usually, so like you're in constant feedback. So you put a seed, you put an intention, and then there's a response, and you listen to that response, and you're like, oh, like that feels good for that. But then also there's like a step. It's like a relationship again. It's like you see someone you like, and you're like, oh, I like that. Sometimes it's your mind, like it's like fits your perfect model of it. Like, oh, that person like could be my wife because she has that quality. Like we go very, and then sometimes it's like your whole body, And then you'll like put one, you'll do one gesture, but you're also going to be receptive of like, is that person giving back? Is that person like interested? Or, you're flirting.
Yeah.
So it's like flirting with the world. So like you put one intention, you're like, I want that. Like I really want, like I really, really want that. And then you listen and you see like, oh, is it meeting me? Is that ideal meeting me halfway? Like, are we co-creating here? So for me, it's like co-creation with the world, the universe, with God, whatever you call it. So you're always like in feedback, in co-creation, and like, okay, like we want, like I wanted a space, like that space for me was my life dream, and that was very clear, and then it met me halfway. I was like, look at that space, it's ready to be born. And the same with Cacao Source. And every time now we want to build a cultural center, and then the funds meet us halfway and we want to do something. And every time, like the exact thing we need will meet us in a way we can't plan, in a way if we only go with the mind, we would probably miss out on it. So it's way more fun to co-create, with something bigger than us. Yeah.
Wow. I love that. Because the way you're describing it, what does that feedback feel like, look like for you? Do you feel like a lot of people walk and live in their lives relating to that level of feedback with God and the universe?
I hope so.
Yeah.
It makes life more fun.
Yeah.
But like it's when things happen, when magic happens for me, that's like that feedback, when things that you can never imagine could happen, that's like beyond logic. Let's say we want a selling, like we want to sell our cacao. It's very clear. It's like the vision so crystal, like it needs to happen. And I'll have a merchant seller walking in here at his first stop in Guatemala, that's from France, being like, oh, I'm building that boat. I want to bring, I'm a merchant seller and I have that whole network. And we came here, we didn't know why. And you have cacao, we like cacao, and then they'll walk in to the life. So you have a clear vision, but then you can recognize because you have clarity. I think most people don't know what they want. That's the difference. When you know what you want, then you can discern. And you're like, there it's walking to me. I don't need to do much. I don't need to work too hard. I just need to let things happen and be available for things to happen. So not making too much plans helps to be available. And I say that, and I'm one of the biggest dreamer. I have 100 plans, but they all happen when they come. So I know, like there is envisioning, but there's no set plan.
So how do you, how do people not know what they want? Like, where do you feel like that comes from?
Good question. I don't know.
Because and my intuition says that I really agree with you on that.
Yeah.
That people don't exactly know what they want, or it's not like a definite focus or definite of purpose.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it feels like there's aimlessness.
Yeah.
Maybe this isn't working and this isn't working. Well, there's not a clear voice within yourself
Yeah.
to relate to the universe on.
Maybe authenticity. So the discernment between what you authentically want and what your mind and society, like how you're nurtured to what you should want. I think that's probably the difference. So like once you like layer that off, then because if you from the mind want something, but it's not like your gift, it's not like who you are, often it won't necessarily happen or not in the way you want or like it. So I think it's probably like in the like finding who you are. Like what's your gift? What's your contribution? Like what's your core? What's your essence? What makes you?
Living in authenticity.
Yeah. And then the moment you like touch base on that, then you're closer to what you truly want. Not what your parents want, not what society wants. Because if not, you'll ask people, what do you want? They're like, $1 million. You know, we all kind of want $1 million. But why? You know, like, why do you want
what's the $1 million for?
Yeah, like what do you value the most in life? And often, so that's the main key for me, is that often it doesn't come in money. So like when instead of asking for, it's like it's kind of taking the shortcut of like, why would I take the long road to get what I want when I could just go to what I want? So you can like just, you know, you want love, just go for love. You know, like you don't need to be successful to then maybe find love. Like you can just have love, you know? It's like sometimes like going to the essence of what you, with the why you want something and then just going straight to it and not by the very long detour that we're taught we should take to get to what we want. Yeah.
I've noticed sometimes with the way that we relate to money, we experience it as more of an obstacle than it needs to be.
Yeah.
By thinking that we need to use money as the way to get to where we need to go. Or create what we want. Versus just creating it and trusting that it will create itself almost. Money, no money, it'll all work out.
Yeah, you want abundance. You don't want money. You want prosperity.
Yes.
And that's very, very different.
It's a soul and experience.
Because like if someone walks here that I love, I can always put a meal and a bed. Like for me, that's what prosperity is. So I don't have money. I never have money in my bank account, but I have everything else. So I think it's like going around, like if you want health, you want security, but relationships give you security. And we're taught we shouldn't rely on people and we need to be like self-independent, self-governed. But actually, we need to rely on people. That's how communities here do it for thousands of years. So you can actually give all your money away when people are in need and then trust that you have enough strong relationship and you've put so much focus on your relationship that when you get sick, someone will have your back. It's like having like that depth of relationship that your security net is people. And I think we're very scared by that.
Ooh.
So like it's there's a lot of layers that we can like put away money and like just trust that go straight to what we want: health, security, we want prosperity, being able to share with the people we love. That's really what we want when we usually want money. We want like a good lifestyle, like like I don't know, like just going straight to it.
Instead of thinking that I have to take these steps to achieve this goal, experience the determination of that goal without the creation of certain obstacles. Or thinking that these are the steps of how to
Because like with Cacao Source, we always gave back. Like we move a lot of money with our enterprise and it all goes back to people. So we don't like have money. We never have money, but we have everything. So like we go travel every year. We have trips paid to Europe to go share cacao. We have like amazing connections, amazing people we meet. Our lifestyle is very abundant. We have infinite cacao to consume.
Fair.
Really good ingredients because we work for farmers, so we get like really nice fruits sometimes coming in, spices, you know. So like we live such abundance, but we never have money. And then people have our like, and then we get rich in other ways. Like, yeah, people see what we do, and then like abundance move in such a big level of ways, but not in the way we can like frame. Yeah.
What do you think is the most challenging for people? And I guess I ask you this because it sounds like it's something that either you've never had to deal with or you've already worked on within yourself, of like the tendency that we have as human beings to want to control our experience of the outcome.
Yeah, it's very fair. I think I definitely have it. I'm a control freak in my own way.
Yeah.
And like you can have it and not act on it, you know, or you can have it and like you can react from it or you can create from it.
Yeah.
And like, funny, I want to control that. Like, isn't that funny? Sweet, what do I want to do now?
Just being aware that that's happening.
Yeah, because it's and you need good friends. Like, again, good friends can call you bullshit. They can be like, what the fuck? You know? So yeah, having good friends that can like give you honest feedbacks and then not taking yourself too seriously. Yeah. But we all love to feel good, right? So we want to create environments that makes us feel good. I think that's a very human, normal, even animal thing to do, you know?
Yeah. So I was curious about this. You said that we live in a bit of like a capitalist society at this day and age, but commerce is important, but there are alternative ways to do it that aren't capitalist. Well, what do you mean? Like, what are the alternative ways?
So the idea of like a business plan, if you study a bit into business, usually it's like how much you give and how much you receive, and then you have a profit margin, right? So basically the goal of a whole business plan is to give as little as possible to receive as much as possible. That's a profit margin.
Sure.
And then when you look in the ceremonial side of the world, it works almost on the opposite side. So when you do like a ceremony, you offer. You always offer to the fire. Like you'll give and you'll offer, and you need to, like you'll be generous. Like it's expensive. People are like, oh, why are you paying for ceremonies? Do you know how expensive all these offerings are? Like you want to be generous and prosperous with the abuelos, with the grandfathers and the grandma that you're feeding through the fire and through the ceremony. And then maybe you can ask something and maybe you'll have an answer. You'll like set an intention and you'll be in conversation. But you always offer first. So ceremony usually, or even a way of being in relation with the earth, is like even when you work with nature, like you give compost before you receive the fruit. Like, so you always like steward and offer. So commerce for me is a bit similar. So you give, and it's not about how much can you receive back, but how much can you give. And then what you receive, it's like the full body belief in almost karma, I would say, would be the common word.
Yeah.
So like I fully believe, for me, everything is whole. So everything I give, I'll receive back, but not in a direct transaction. So I always give a lot. So then I know the world will give me back. And if let's say you come and you steal from me, I'll be like, I must have karma points to work on. But like everything always, like I have a full trust that the world is in balance in a certain way. So as much dark, as much light. So then in commerce, it's very similar, and the transactions are not direct. And I feel that's where capitalism is kind of off the way, where there's this direct, we're always in direct transaction. Money is a direct transaction. Well, commerce can be very indirect. So you'll give to the next person. Like you'll give knowing that somehow it's going to come back, trusting. So I think it goes a lot with trust. So you're going to give and you're going to trust the fruits will come back in some way or another. Like full trust. Yeah. And then commerce, like again, it's always about, like I said, relationship probably 100 times, but it's all about relationship. So it's like, why do you do that? like also coming back to the why, like why are you consuming? Why are you working? Like what are you doing with your life? What's your day to day? You know, why are you buying something off? Why, like you go to a supermarket or you go to the local market? Like last week, I was at the local market and I've been asking for oregano, and the lady just come out like, I got you a plant of oregano from my home, so you can plant it home and you can have your own oregano. And so you know the people, you know, and I leave my bags because they're so heavy and I'm alone and I'm feeding a lot of people here. And I can leave my bags with the stand, you know, at the supermarket. You can't do that. And that changes everything. So you don't have work and business and then personal life. It's everything's the same. It's like there's no separation. So you never have a day off. You never have, like, I'll be Sunday 9 p.m. and I'll get some calls of the farmers being like, hey, like I have a, you know, and sometimes I'm still from Canada. Sometimes I'm like, fuck, yeah,
It's Sunday.
yeah, I'm like, let me rest, please. And then I'm like, no, like that's life. You know, at 6 a.m. I'll get some calls and yeah. So I think it's just it's like completely changing the cosmovision you have behind your way of relating with everything. So commerce, it's getting to understand someone. It's like, let's say we're talking and you do offer me something. You're offering me like a piece of you and I'm curious. And I'm like, oh, tell me more about you. And then you tell me. So we're in transaction.
Yeah.
But then we do that, but with avocados and cacao. And then with like knowledge and physical, like we all have a gift. Some people will be really good at doing manual thing and other people will be really good at thinking, but they need each other. Like we need each other.
Yeah.
So it's like rebuilding relationships that all our needs can be fulfilled.
Yeah.
And we can be abundant. Because that's important. For me in that path is like, I don't believe in the path of like, we need to sacrifice to do good. Like, and I think that's where we get it wrong when we try to counter capitalism. Is this like internal belief that you should like sacrifice your well-being and like your prosperity to fight capitalism, and so no one really wants to join that fight. It's like I kind of just want to eat well and give love to my kids, but actually you can do good and be good. So I think it's like creating models that people can witness that is
Well, I have like a really important question that you like made me think of. It's like, but it feels like your model requires a tremendous amount of trust in the unseen.
Yeah.
That's like that's another level of being in the world that's beyond business in general.
Yeah.
Like business right now is like, you promise me, you sign this contract, you're going to give me this money if I give you this service.
Yeah.
And we're not going to like you're not going to rip me off and I'm not going to rip you off. Yeah. And we have accountability on paper that I can take you to court if blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like everything's very clear, and the way that those systems of quote unquote trust are under high levels of accountability. But what it sounds like you're describing is to live in your life within your soul in the way that you operate in the world with this offering, loving, giving. Like, because my question is, like, everybody wants abundance, but it's not intuitive to me. Because this is something that, what you're describing is something that I'm on a journey of in my own life, of like, really like trusting that actually is the abundant way of living. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Versus like, if I give all my resources away and I just give and give, and then it's like, oh, now I'm like living under a bridge, and it's like I don't have anything now. So you know what I mean?
I know.
How do you balance that? Or how do you overcome that?
I think by failing.
Failing.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think that helps.
Really?
So like, I think I've started my life I had $0 in my bank account so often in my life.
Okay, yeah.
And started in new countries and from scratch, and knowing that I can do it. So then I can take the risk of losing everything because
it's not that bad.
I'm my safety net.
Yeah.
It's not money, it's me. So like for me, this land is a bit that journey of like, if I know this land is very clay, like it's argile. It's like a lot of clay. It's a very bad, for planting gardens, it's not a very good one. It doesn't like it, it retains all the water, and there's so much water, and then all of the roots gets, sorry, I'm mixing all language, but yeah, rotten. And then I lose a lot of trees. And so I'm like, if I'm able to bring this land alive within 5 years from scratch, from zero money, like I didn't have much monetary resources when I started the project, and I know I can do it, then that's going to give me another level of security net of whatever happens in the world. I know I can transform a land to an abundant food forest. And everyone right now, like not that many people know how to care for land anymore. So for me, that's a very strong security net. So I'm like, wherever life goes, I can start a land from scratch, because this land, we never know what happens with it. Again, I'm a foreigner, like, so my future might not be here, but knowing that I can transform that and create. So knowing that from nothing, you can create so much abundance, then you can take this trust and give everything away and start again. And you start full faith. You're like, yeah, I'm putting my full effort there.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And if it doesn't, you're like, oh, I fucked it up. What did I do? And then an honest reflection, and then you try again until it works. Yeah.
How do you maintain? Okay, here's my one question, and maybe you're like, oh, you just trust anyways. How do you maintain, like, thoughtful intention, and at least security for yourself, but really like security for people that maybe you're responsible for, like if you have kids or something like that, with this practice, when let's say you're in business, but there are people that will operate with intentions with the capitalist mindset, that are willing to just take as much as you're willing to allow and not give anything back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you interact with that system, being that that's kind of the major system at large in society right now?
Yeah. And we're part of it. Like we're selling cacao worldwide on the e-commerce.
Yeah. Would you say about e-commerce? Yeah.
Like we have an e-commerce selling cacao.
Yeah.
So, we're definitely part of it. But yeah, discernment, really know your values, know who you are. Mm-hmm. Where's your boundaries? What are you ready to, meet other people? Mm-hmm. Because, it's, what's important for you, how to navigate these systems. Let's say we really struggle, we're still struggling, because we're a Guatemalan social enterprise, so we're in the Guatemalan system. We pay taxes, administration, we're fully, the goal of this model was to make it also in the system, so it can be duplicated. So it's doesn't feel, we're not outlaws, we're not, we're like,
you're operating within the system.
We can be fully transparent to the government, to people, to other businesses, because we're well administrated. Thanks, our administrator. Mm-hmm. So we pay taxes. We pay taxes in Guatemala, in the U.S., and we're artisanal. So in Guatemala, we can't really provide proof of cost because the people we work with are indigenous small communities, so they can't give us invoices. And so we're paying huge amount of taxes because we can't really prove cost.
Really?
So we're paying, not even that we're paying taxes, is we're paying more taxes than what we're profit make. So the system is not met for our model, and it's really going against, it's really hurting us. And we're still figuring out ways legally to go around it. We're working with NGOs, we're working with other ways to bring income to the communities, because the costs are there. We are paying, the people, so there's no profit, and we're taxed on the profit that doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. So I think it's it's definitely a challenge. When we change, because we change regimen, we change because we outgrew the small business, which allowed us to have that model, to a bigger model, which needs invoices for everything. And it was very painful financially for us when we first changed, and now we're moving around it as much as we can. But yeah, so I think it's like fine. It's a dance. Like there's no answer. Like we're figuring out on like legal level how to do it. On relationship level, we have amazing people we collaborate with that sometimes, the fear of capitalists comes in and the decision making. And now we're looking to building a stewardship program of 8 months and also give that transition, like give that hand to people, because everyone we work with want to do better. If not, they wouldn't buy our cacao, they would buy a cheaper one, as simple as that. So they really do want to do good, and they live in cities that are very expensive and they have costs that are very high, and sometimes scarcity comes, which can shade decision making, how we do things, why we do things. So we're trying to, now we're like inquiring on that, of how can we give better support to people that are abroad, not in Guatemala, so they don't have the same lifestyle. They're in different realities, contexts, and they're still sharing cacao. So how can we help them to go through that? Yeah. So instead of saying no to people and saying, oh, no, you don't follow our value, you're not, it's like saying everyone can actually work with us. We never say no to anyone. This is part of our values. So anyone who wants to work with us can work with us. But we have our boundaries and ways of work. So and you need to meet us. You can be anyone, any background. And these are our boundaries. And if you do want to support to get to that place to meet us, we're here to help. So everyone can. Yeah.
I love that.
It's still in the work.
And I think that's really a really honest framework for operating in general, is you're always willing to say yes, but you do have boundaries that yes requires.
Yeah, yes, and we won't lower our cost.
Yeah.
Because we need to pay the farmers.
Yep.
It's that's like an easy boundary to put. It's because often people want to negotiate wholesale prices, they want cheaper, and they're like, these are our numbers. Where do you want us to cut price? Choose for us, please,
Yeah.
Even you can see my salary. Do you really want to cut on that salary? It's just kind of sad, our costs are so clear. And if we know how to cut costs without cutting human cost, amazing. If you can help us with that, like with bank fees, taxes, and things.
You can
help us do better, and then we can lower your costs. That's it's so.
You can help us find a way to go around some of the taxes. Yeah.
Yeah, and legal and respect, because we still want to give taxes to Guatemala. Like they're offering us the roads and different things. It's important to we live in a
society.
Nation, and there's offering certain services which we're enjoying. So even if there's corruption, there's still
some basic level of infrastructure.
Yeah, and we're nourished by this land. I think it's important to give back to society.
I think it's one thing I've noticed from our conversation is I feel like it's
cows being grinded.
It's being what? Grinded?
Yeah.
I feel like it's rare that I come across someone who how would I put it, lives in such a heart-centered way with their commerce way of relating, interacting in the world, but also is I don't know, you seem like you have a very steadfast piece about you with the way that you describe the happenings of what you're a part of.
Yeah.
Is that
we play Catan?
Oh, really?
That's the secret.
Yeah. I was like, has that always been there? You're like, oh no, I'm just peacefully grinding my cacao. Wait till there's something that bothers me. Yeah.
That's why I love board games. Because then there's different rules.
True. Very true.
I'll be them. But yeah, it's a work in progress. Like, yeah, again, like I was joking, and you're actually kind of right, you know? Like it's easy, like all of that, like there's so many challenges. Like now it looks all nice, like we're in conversation.
Yeah.
But the day to day, it's relation, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the more real the work you do, the more conflicts you're gonna have. Like because the more real the relation you have with humans you work with, the more real, yeah, conflicts.
Yeah, the more authentic the relationship is, the more everyone's confronted with their ego.
Exactly.
Would you say that's probably an accurate way of putting it?
Yeah, like I don't know if it's a ego, but like just like, yeah, like it's like we're all so human.
Yeah.
And we're showing up for each other, we're listening to each other. So I like there's space for drama, there's space for conflict, there's space for, because we're creating also that space in a certain way. So yeah, so relationships are not perfect. Sometimes people are happy with the work we do, sometimes they're not, because it's real work. So there's a lot of, and we work with something that is very, again, exploitative. Like even the cost we're paying farmers now is better than the market, but it's not where it should be. Like for the effort the farmers put in their cacao, it should be much higher. And it needs an education and a movement towards raising it. And it needs a lot of, it needs a process. And we're working on that process. So like there's nothing we do right now that is perfect because we started from a very like bad soil and it's very human. And then there's just, yeah, like we all go through our own thing. Like the women's collective we work with, you know, it's like they have their own things happening home plus their work. And then sometimes, yeah, sometimes they'll be so happy, and sometimes we'll hold all the problems of the world. Like we have both of them. But that's life. That's where the work starts. That's where it's like, okay, like we can,
we're it's human experience right now.
yeah, we can adjust, we can listen, we can do our best. And sometimes I'm very young and I'm not from here. So sometimes also I'm completely out of context and I'm not in the right relation, you know, and I need to work on something. So like, yeah, when we started cacao source, I was 24 years old.
Really?
So
how old are you now?
30.
Okay.
So, you know,
yeah,
at 24 years old, the decision you take, with the experience you have, yeah, it is what it is, and it's getting better every year, hopefully. Yeah.
That's so cool. That's beautiful. So from Canada, when did you travel for a while, or?
I left when I was 18.
Really? Wow.
It's been 11, 12 years. I left.
And have you gone back to visit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love my family.
Okay, cool.
We're in very good terms, and yeah, I'm trying now. I have a nephew that was born last year, so I want to go more and more. And yeah, it's like, again, it's coming back. What's the most important for me? Families, like, yeah, they have your back. Like they're part of you.
They're your people.
Yeah.
Have they been out here to visit?
Yeah, my mom's coming actually next week.
Oh, cool. That's very cool.
Yeah. So no, it's been a journey, but it's been 11 years away, and I've been over 6.5 years in Guate. So it's a long time here.
So why did you leave at 18?
I was really passionate by academics, and I wanted to study international relationship or like anthropology or geography or something. And I wanted to travel before I would listen to a teacher and like kind of like my own mind on things. But I was like gonna have a doctorate degree in my mind. And I went to travel, and I had a budget, and I was like, when I go at $0, I come back home and I pay with my credit card the flight back. And yeah, it's kind of my plan. And then I never had zero, so I never came back home.
Really?
And
that's so cool.
And at some point, I outgrow the skills of university. I would hire people with master degrees, and I realized that I would train them and they wouldn't really know what they do. And I was like, huh. And even anthropologists would come to our project and want to do their doctorate on the work we do. And yeah, at some point it kind of didn't make sense of like, why would I go to university other than the piece of paper? Like, it's that.
Yep.
So I gave up on the dream of becoming an academic and going to university. Didn't make any more sense.
I love that.
And I think it was like a good thing, because then that's probably why it's easier for me to not like go along with the society construct. I think it's because I had the opportunity to never really enter it.
Yeah.
Most people that change, that do commerce, alternative commerce, were in corporate world.
Yep.
And then they saw how fucked up it was, and then they're like, I want to do different. But I never was in the corporate world. So I think
You kind of escaped it by traveling.
Yeah.
So what kind of traveling did you do when you were 18 to 24? Was it like, what was that journey like?
So I had a dream of a project I wanted to build.
Yeah.
It's just like an NPH, like not-profit hostel, and I wanted a whole worldwide. I was very ambitious. Like, I wanted a worldwide branch of hostel based on donation, and the abundance was built a certain way, and like by visibility because of how accessible it was. I used to be a professional fundraiser in Australia for a year. And as soon as people would have personal connection with the NGO, they would be more generous. So I was like, if that NPH, like that hostel branch, would like be so accessible, then every door you knock to raise funds, someone knew someone who already was in relation. And when you travel the hostel franchise, you give back to the community. That's like, you can donate money or give back. And so you contributed, and also so you want to keep contributing. Anyway, it's just a whole concept. And I didn't have the skills. So I used Workaway. And I did my list of skills I wanted to build my business. And then I went to find the skills on Workaway, and then did different projects in Asia, Australia, and Africa. And until I arrived in South America. And then I started my first project, which was something else at the end, in Brazil. And then I had a really good mentor who connected me with more mentors and believed and gave me the resources I needed to build my first project. So I had people who believed in me. That really helped.
Yeah.
And then that project failed. So I did 2 years in Brazil.
Yep.
And it didn't work out. And then I came to Guatemala and then started Cacao Source, and it's still working.
So you're like, we're in the middle of this project right now, and that's where we're at today.
Almost 7 years, and it's working well. So let's see.
So cool. That's
But
so cool.
yeah, my first project was not even born. The second one failed, and now we're at the third one.
I guess that really helps with being able to surrender the fear of failure, is knowing that once you've failed, it's not actually as bad as you feared that it was. You're like, oh, yeah, your ego takes a hit, and then you realize it's not that bad in the first place. Yeah.
It's like when you say I love you to someone and they like don't love you back, you know, then you just say it again and again and again until hopefully one day someone say it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I think they worth the risk. Like, it's like a big ego risk of like, yeah, failure is a big ego risk. Like, it hurts. Like, let's be honest. Like, yeah, it took me 2 years before starting my next business after the last one that I worked for 2 years. So it's really like a heartbreak, you know, it's like a grief, or like, and then when people ask you about it and you need to say, well, you know, it didn't work out like that. It's hard. And yeah. And then you just get used to it, and you're like, oh, it didn't work out. No, I failed. Straight. You don't even try to polish it. You don't even try to justify it. And just say, I failed. Didn't work out. You know? So yeah, I think that helps. Yeah.
Yeah, just like deeply be honest and authentic with yourself of if it does fail. And there's no judgment if it does. It just is what it is.
You tried and you learn. And I say I failed, but like I won in so many ways. Like I want so much network, and network is everything. You know, knowing the right people that opens the door to the right opportunity and knowledge, and you know, like I learned so. It's just my university degree was that first business was like giving it all, learning everything, and then with cacao source, yeah, I knew how to do most of the things because I already had tried.
How do you grow your network from really just, I guess, living here in the jungle? You know, I'm actually curious.
I'm lucky enough that I had a good enough network before coming to
Okay, that's kind of nice. Okay, good.
I have really good people in my life I met throughout my path.
Yeah.
And I have good mentors, and they have good network. And yeah, there are a lot of people who believes in us. So and then we have immersions and training. So I go teach. We give like 2-3 courses a year, which usually having really cool people. Like where I'm like, you could be my teacher. I don't understand why I'm teaching. Like, that's so strange. Like you're like, you could be my life, which some are. One my biggest mentor right now was a participant of an immersion. And she's that like really powerful business woman from London, well, not London, England. And yeah, and then she became my main mentor for the work I do now. But yeah, so the immersions, what we offer attracts really cool people. And then I travel to Europe once a year, where we share about cacao and the work we do that extends the network. And then we have really cool people that comes to my door, like the sellers, you know, like even from here, I developed a lot of really cool network.
People just come by.
Yeah, and they're really cool. They're the perfect people that I need to meet at this perfect moment. And then online. Like we have a good online presence. Yeah.
That's really good.
But yeah, it's a funny one to be off grid in the middle of building that, which probably is the strength of it at the same time. Because I can have the clarity. Like
It's actually has authenticity to it, you know?
Yeah. And I'm closer to some of the farmers. And
you get to be closer to the sourcing side.
Yeah, exactly. Like our sourcing is all over Guatemala, but we have like 4 or 5 good sources around here. And then my business partner is in like Etitan, and he's closer to the other sources. And so together we have a good reach.
Is it hard to get mail out here?
Yeah.
Like mail, like letters?
Yeah.
How do you get mail?
So this place is cool with my ex-partner, and the mail goes to their house.
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and then brought this.
You just go get it, or
yeah. But yeah, it's like to Guatemala City, and my administrator also lives in Guatemala City. So to Guatemala City, and then the Litegua bus, so the main bus system, offers also deliveries. And then we deliver through the bus, and I go to the bus station in Puerto Barrios. But also I don't get that much mail.
Fair.
Also.
Fair.
Like, yeah.
Any mail that you get can wait a few weeks to a month or two.
Yeah, and it can't be,
If you need me, call me, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But it's funny, my friend was asking me that last week for my birthday, and she was like, if I want to mail you something for your birthday, how do I do that? I don't know, like Puerto Barrios after the 7 iguanas, 3 dolphins to the left.
Yeah.
Put this on the mailbox and it might get here. Yeah.
That would be really funny. Yeah, because I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
And there you can order something on Amazon and have it there that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
It's really and then when you're out here, it's a completely different story.
Yeah.
It's a whole process of you have to flag down a boat to get into town, that they might have it at this store that you got to go find in the city somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, my associate, I'm lucky. like we're a good team for
Yeah.
this place, because then we can get everything in the city and then it gets shipped here.
You kind of have a lot of things that you would need. Like this place is very well built.
Yeah.
Tools. Yeah.
Yeah, we're good also with construction. Like the cabin where you're staying, 80% of the material comes from the land.
Yeah.
So like the bamboo's from the land, the wood, the like palm, everything is from the land. So it does help. And then the boats, like we're in Guatemala, where like sometimes it feels like because of that you can't have everything. But for me it's like the opposite. Like you don't understand. There's no limit in Guatemala. Like it's like you want a fridge and like I don't know what, a washing machine. Yeah, you put this on the boat. And it's like a small little cayuco and it's gonna fit. Like there's no, yeah, there's like, if you have a square and a round, they're gonna make fit the square and the round. They'll figure it out. They'll like cut the edge, doesn't matter. But there's no limit of what you can do. There's always solutions.
They're always going to bring it to you somehow.
Yeah, and there's always gonna find a solution to create and do whatever has to be done.
That's
So
cool.
it's a very like solution-oriented culture of like, and there's a whole community. So if like something is stuck, like everyone will come out and figure it out. Then like you're not alone. So yeah. So sometimes it feels limiting, and sometimes you're like, no, you don't get it. It's actually infinite. Just need to be patient.
Yeah, that is the one beautiful thing about this culture is it is a culture of solutions, but it's also a culture of patience.
Yeah. It's like nothing also, yeah, comes easy, but everything, if you really want it, everything can come. Just not easy. And not in the way, yeah. Yeah, in different ways. And not like perfect, not aesthetic, not like just, but very functional.
You say aesthetic?
Yeah, like it's,
The aesthetics are not the priority necessarily.
you want function, like you want like the basic needs to be fulfilled. It's functional.
I wanted to ask you something about the cacao.
Yeah.
Seeds. When you mix it, it kind of has one flavor, but when you taste them individually, they have their own unique flavor. So it's almost like when you're making a cacao drink or a cacao chocolate bar or something, that it's really the mix of all of it.
And that's why you want to mix them as little as possible, because of how impacted they are by the land and the tree they grew in. So you don't want like, when they say single origin Guatemala, that's nonsense.
What do you mean?
Well, every land in Guatemala has its own taste of cacao. Imagine every seed has its own taste. So imagine every land, so you never want to like, you're taking away so much diversity and taste by mixing cacao from different land. So you want the single origin as much as possible. It's even more complex than wine. The cacao, if it's well processed, is a seed more complex than the wine profiles. And wine has its own world just in profiling. Oh my God, we made it.
There was a lot there. Yeah, I was on the beach just cracking these open. And I was like, the whole time I didn't feel like I was making any progress until the very end. And then you look at this bowl and it's like, there was quite a lot in there.
Yeah. Oh, and you wanted to try. I'll let you the end.
Here,
I'll let you try.
Let me wash my hands.
Oh my God, I'm so sore. You're gonna see it looks easy.
Okay, let me wash my hands real quick.
Yeah.
You said it looks easy.
Hmm?
Is it easy or not easy?
What?
The
Yeah, no. 1 sec. I'll give you a.
here. Let me see what you're doing over here. Okay.
I think I got the blister.
You got a blister from it?
Yeah, wait until you try.
We're going to. So what is this? Right here.
It's the melanger.
Smells good.
Yeah, that's where it becomes chocolate.
So does it have heat or is it just
It's
stirred?
just stone. So it's stone grind, basically.
just stone grind?
Yeah. So to reshape molecules of cacao into something more fine. It's usually like the tuck you get from tempered cacao that like makes that like very smooth texture.
crack?
Yeah.
So
Now it doesn't look. When I first arrived, it was so smooth, but now I put everything I grind it, so it's not as smooth. But if you come back in 1 hour, it's like
really smooth.
pure liquid.
Oh. So how do you get the crack? Because I know
And then
when you're
there's
making cacao in humidity, in the tropic humidity, sometimes it can be challenging. Or not really.
Not really. Like I think, yeah, we just once we mold them, we put them in the fridge for like an hour,
Yeah.
so it like re-hardens. And of course, if you put it in heat and melt, it's cacao.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. But yeah, let's teach you how.
All right, let me wash my hands.
Wow, that was a. Oof. Oh.
Okay. All right. Just go for it.
Okay, so
Okay.
and you're gonna get very dirty because it's already quite dirty.
Perfect.
So you basically usually it's even like a hip motion. So the matate is a very feminine tool. So normally only women actually even touch it. It's passed down from grandmother to daughter. Like it's a generational woman feminine tool. And so we invite your feminine side.
Thank you very much. I will connect with that.
Yeah. So how I usually do it is I go from here, and every movement I just take a bit more seeds, and I pass seeds. So you don't like want to smash that all at the same time. It's like just little, and it grinds. And again, like the beauty of ancestry that I find is the veil of between the inner world and the outer world. So like for me, why there's so many stories and legends about like when they'll describe cacao, they won't describe cacao. They describe like the hero twins and the ball game, and then like they're gonna like go do a rebirth process, and they'll like grind your bone and mix it with water and brew it, and then it comes back to life, and that's like cacao. So like all like it's metaphors. There's a lot of metaphor and legends of ancestors. So my connection with it is that the inner world and the outer world were very close. So what happened inside and outside was actually the same mirror. And they were very like that vile. Like for us, it's so separated right now. But for me, it's like living closer to both being the same. So the matate, you're grinding, you're processing. It's like whatever intention you put in it, you're processing it. It's like the psychologist. So you bring like anything you need to crunch, like the crunchiness of life where you're like, ooh, that's hard to digest. You you grind it. So that's your inner world. So you can process anything in it. You can like grind things. You can like be like in conversation with it.
Beautiful.
Very fun.
You're processing as you're processing.
Yeah, well, we had a whole conversation.
Yeah,
It's great.
we were
I was,
processing
like,
while
in
we
the
were
middle
processing.
of it. And often
Exactly.
it brings the best conversation, you know. And it's
Yeah.
the same with the peeling. It's like peeling layers.
Yeah.
Often when you peel in a group, like beautiful conversation will come because you just peel one layer, another layer. Like it's the outer world is the same as inside. You just like peel one seed, another seed, another seed, and then the conversation are magical.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the psychologist. Now it's like the crunchiness, the like, yeah.
This is heavy too.
It's very heavy.
Whoa.
People are like, I'm going to bring that home as a souvenir. I'm like,
It's like 40, 50 pounds.
it's,
something.
I don't think it fits in a, yeah, like,
So a suitcase, yeah.
yeah,
That's
it's
a
very
stone.
heavy.
Okay. Here we go. So this almost gets it ready for the machine. That
Yeah, that
processes
gets
it.
it ready.
Hmm.
But usually it's like you put it from here to a cup. If you do a ceremony, you don't use that machine. You
So
would just like this straight to the clay pot, mix it with water, molinino, brew it, and that's it.
so when you're selling ceremony cacao, do you sell it in bean form?
We have seeds, but usually we sell
Or
it in
seeds?
paste.
Yeah.
But the
Sell it in
paste
paste.
doesn't pass by that machine. It passes by a grinder, which is usually that do that job.
Yeah.
Straight to a mold.
Mm-hmm.
So very little processing.
Yeah. Well, so why is the processing? Well, why is it such little processing
To keep
with cacao
its form, to keep like its like as
versus just making a very smooth liquid?
yeah, like if you go through different machines, it's just recrystallized molecules of your cacao.
Yeah.
That's a very smoothness, and then you can also put ingredients in it, and it's like melanger, like it like mixes it very very well into one texture.
Mm-hmm.
So you can add sugar, spice, anything in that machine, and it's going to become one texture with the cacao. But if you do ceremonial cacao, you keep the raw form of it, the like initial energy. Usually you don't mix it. It's just one ingredient, as simple as that. But then afterwards, people will add honey and whatever they want,
Yeah.
you know.
Do you think? Go ahead.
Yeah.
You think there's a market for people who just like, for example, if they're going to do a ceremony, they want to engage with this experience of the cacao?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like for example, if you were someone who wanted cacao versus having it in a liquid form or a solid block,
Yeah.
having it in just the bean, maybe even they peel it themselves.
Yeah. Some people do it. Like you can easily find seed and buy seeds.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't like doing it that way.
It's a very long process. Like
I
also,
guess it's a
I've
long
been doing that
process.
process for a very long time. You'll see your cacao will take much longer than me to transform into a liquid paste.
Mine?
Because I've been doing that process a very long time. So it takes like, when we do these workshops with people and it's their first time processing, and now I was not very efficient because we were in a very long conversation.
Yeah.
But when we do this workshop, sometimes it takes 3-4 hours to process one brew. Now I'm processing like 3 pounds. Yeah. And so it's like it's a bigger level of process. But yeah, for people, they're not used to process this way. It's very time consuming. And let's be honest, most people don't want to take that time anymore.
That's very fair. That's very fair.
Yeah, it's a commitment. Like even the blocks, sometimes people now want discs. They want something already cut, that you just mix it with what, like.
Yeah, just
we
mix it in hot water and call it
Yeah,
good.
we like convenience. So yeah, it's nice to have the option, because sometimes I also like convenience. Sometimes I'm on the go and I would love to have that disc.
Yeah.
And sometimes I want the block, and sometimes I wouldn't want the seed. I would want the block. Most of the time, I love the block, and then I just chop it.
Where do you feel like is the boundary? Yeah, I guess maybe for you personally, but maybe just with the way that humans relate to nature, where's the boundary between being intimately connected with the process of something and the convenience of it? Does that make sense? Like versus the idea of going into your backyard, grabbing a live chicken, cutting off its head, plucking its feathers, making that for dinner, versus going to the store and having chicken tenders frozen, baked in the oven. You know what I mean? Different levels of processing.
Yeah, I think that's usually why mass consumption, like consuming more than we need happen, is when we're disconnected to that process. So we don't actually know how much work it takes to produce cacao.
Yeah.
And we don't know how much work it takes for chicken. Like to get chicken grown and then sold. Like our chickens here, they're like 4 months and they're not even in the stage to lay eggs yet. So when I lose my chicken, it means so much. Like, and we've lost some because of the animals around here.
Oh, okay.
And like, I'll cry, I'll bury them and cry.
My friends' chickens,
Like, chicken needs care every morning and every night. Every morning you take them off, open the cage, feed. Every night you close the cage. You can't miss one day. It's like it's every day, twice a day task you do in your life for your chicken. So when you lose them, it's hard. At least for me. So I think we don't realize the amount of work behind what we consume. I don't think we would consume as much if we needed to do that work. And I think it would rebalance life if we did the work of what we consume. At least once. Maybe that could be the boundary. It's do it at least once. Understand at least what it means, what you consume to nature, to time, to energy, to farmers. So then you also understand if you buy a banana $1, it's not normal.
Yeah.
You understand better the pricing and how unbalanced it is,
And the level of work that goes into getting that banana into the Walmart or
and then
store.
It's so cheap and you're like, why? How is it? Who's paying the price if I'm not paying it? And it's not the business who's selling it. So often it's the farmers and the land. So I think you need another round.
We keep going? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting because I would have thought that it would be done by then. How do you know when it's done?
Usually it becomes more liquidy.
Oh, it's liquidy. Okay.
You want to the molecules. So you see now it's grindy. So you want that grind to go into a paste. Oh, boo-boo. Is your partner resting for the day? Yeah.
She is. She's been. We've had a rough couple days of the journey. Actually, it's been a lot of running around. This is a really good being settled experience. Actually, yeah.
How long have you been together?
Well, probably about a year, almost a year. Yeah, maybe May or June.
Yeah, that's a good amount. And she's not from the U.S., so is she?
Well, actually, she is, but I didn't meet her in the U.S.
Oh.
I met her in Costa Rica.
Okay.
So she's been traveling for the past 4 years or so.
Yeah.
When she was 18, 19, she left and just said, I'm going to go start traveling and I figure it out, money or no money or whatever. So she went to Australia, India, Thailand, Alaska, and then she went to Costa Rica. And I was working in Texas at the time, but I would travel on my own, but not in such a full-time capacity. So I went down to Costa Rica and that's where I met her.
Nice.
And so we stayed in contact. And then we didn't really date at that time. That was actually 2 years ago that we met. And then I came back to the same place in Costa Rica with some friends that I wanted to introduce to the area. And I ran into her again.
Nice. I think we're good.
Oh, this is it right here?
Yeah, you're getting there.
Perfect.
The machine will do the rest.
All right, wonderful.
Okay. Whoa, finally.
Yeah, we got it. We got all of it.
Hours later. I started at 10 a.m.
Really? Yeah, you have been going for a while. And you still have some beans over there.
Yeah, another day.
No, fair.
Yeah, I still haven't had lunch and it's like
Really?
almost 4, yeah. Nourish. Yeah, so you had a good journey together.
Yes, we have.
That's beautiful.
Very good. So,
Good on you guys.
yeah.
And you're both painters, or?
She's gotten more work doing it because she's just traveled more than I have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally. I've basically done art in people's houses or in my house when I was in Texas.
Nice.
So it's mostly like I create a vision for what I want it to look like, and then I execute the vision.
That's beautiful.
She's uses a lot of paint, but when I was in the States, I'd use like Sharpies.
Nice.
Yeah, because I love that form of art too.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's nice. It's nice to find a partner that also shares like a path like that.
Yeah.
You can co-create.
Exactly. And then like the home can be filled with different like art. Like the art isn't just a piece of art hanging on the wall. It's art that is the wall.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that too.
Cool.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Let me bring this there, and I think we're at the end of the... Yeah, I need to go get food in my belly.
Beautiful.
I'll give you your mic. I'll let you... how does that work?
It's a magnet. So here, let's wash. Yeah, I'll do it. Let me wash my hands real quick. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And that was a great conversation.
Yeah.
That was really good. And I'm glad to like really get to meet you.
Well, thank you for giving me company.
You're welcome.
You're
very welcome.
Very long process, so it was good company. Yeah, I'll
do
that.
Thank you very much.